Guys, I was wrong, sort of, about the grind in Enlisted. I've talked a lot about the grind in Enlisted. I've talked about it extensively on YouTube. I've talked about it extensively on Twitch, on Discord, on the forums. Anyone who I could talk to about it, because I do think it's a massive issue. But I've come to realize that I've talked about it in the wrong way, and I haven't really gotten to the heart of the issue. I've always known this issue was there, and I think that this was a little bit of curse of knowledge type thing where my brain was making this connection, but I wasn't properly connecting it and communicating it to you guys when I talked about it. And that's a problem, and I'm going to rectify that now. So I have always talked about Enlisted in the grind in the context of hours, okay? Hours invested. And that isn't really the issue. The reason that this isn't really the issue is that investing time doesn't really matter. Investing time matters when you don't get the proper outcome, right? You don't get a proper reward for that time invested, okay? So like investing 1,000 hours to master an instrument isn't bad because you got a proper reward out of that, right? You now know how to play an instrument. Investing 1,000 hours into a video game that you feel was a good amount of content in regards to that time invested is good, right? That's fine. There's no issue with that. The problem with Enlisted is that it's out of whack, okay? The time invested for what you get is out of whack. This is called your reward loop, okay? This exists in everyday life. This exists in everything. When you go to your work, right, you go work a job, you spend an hour at work and you get an hour's worth of pay that you have agreed upon. And this is because when you do things in games, and a lot of times in real life, you're entering into kind of a social contract. You're saying that I am going to accept this challenge and I want, a reward that is proportional to the challenge and to the time invested. Okay? So in Enlisted, this is the grind, right? You invest a certain amount of time and you get a certain amount you get a certain amount of reward, right? The levels. So this is basically the carrot on a stick. Okay, so imagine that you have a little donkey. Okay, the donkey is us. We are the donkey. The donkey is the players. And the donkey has a stick on him, and it has a carrot at the end of that stick. Okay, and the donkey goes, and when it does the thing and goes the distance of the stick, it gets the carrot. So again, if you haven't realized this, the players are the donkey, the grind is the stick, and the levels are the carrot. That's Enlisted. Okay, that is the basic idea. And guys, there's lots of different carrots and lots of different sticks in games. And in fact, you need to have lots of different carrots and lots of different sticks, because if you don't, then players get really bored. If the stick is too long, then you can't see the carrot anymore, and you don't care about the carrot. If it's too close, then you get too many carrots, and the carrots don't really matter anymore. I really hope I'm not losing you guys in this analogy, okay? In Enlisted, everything is out of whack because the stick, at least at later levels, right? Early on, it's okay. But at later levels, the stick is too long and the carrot is too small because it takes too long to grind and you get too little of a reward, because oftentimes the rewards in these later levels are just not enough, okay? In Enlisted, we also have the carrot on a stick of the game itself, right? So you enter into a match, the match is the challenge, and your reward is winning. And that feeds into our overall longer carrot, which is you get more XP for winning, which gives you, closer to your other reward of levels, which is great, right? That's good game design, right? That's well done, The problem is there's no other carrots or sticks, and the carrot is too small at later levels. So I've always talked about how it takes too long to grind. Well, that's not really true. I mean, it is true, but it's not really like that's just part of it, right? Like if you decrease the grind, yeah, everything becomes proportional again. Grinding for 5 hours to get the M1 Garand is good. Grinding 10 hours to get the Johnson, which is not much of an upgrade, is not good, right? Because that's not proportional. But if the grind is halved, then it becomes proportional again because the carrot is proportional to the grind, and that's good. We like that, right? We like that dopamine. But if you just increase the rewards, right? If you get more stuff per level, or you get more carrot, a bigger carrot, then that's fine too, right? Like that. All you need is the proportionality between the two. On the other hand, you can also just increase the amount of carrots and sticks, right? If we have better short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals to work towards, right? If I have achievements to work towards, if I have more goals that I'm working towards the way that I have the goal of winning a match, right? Like medium-term goals, we kind of have those with the battle pass, but I'd like more than that. More ways to get boosters. Like I know that War Thunder has spading vehicles that gives you like an XP boost or something like that. Like you get rewards for doing that. It's at least something to work towards. It's some sort of carrot on a stick. Enlisted could implement the same thing. Implement skins that we get, decals that we get for spading squads, right? If we finish a whole squad, maybe we get a decal. Maybe we get a custom camouflage for those squads. We get a custom something for those squads. That would be cool, right? That gives you a goal to work towards while you're also working towards your grind. And that lessens the overall impact of the grind. Right now, as it stands, you just have to grind out the game. And it's just the same repetitive thing over and over and over again. And there's not enough variety. There's not enough carrots/sticks to really make the game feel better. At the end of the day, it's just the same thing over and over again. And when it becomes that repetitive with too long of a stick, too long of a grind, with not enough of a reward, it feels bad and people end up quitting. They're de-incentivized from playing the game and they quit. Okay? So that's what I'm getting at. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope I didn't lose you guys in the analogy. I hope all of that kind of clears up, and I hope that if the developers see this, they understand more from where I'm coming from. I'm not just complaining for the sake of complaining. Like, this is an actual issue with the game. I'm not just mad that the grind takes too long. Like, this is genuinely a game design problem that Enlisted suffers from. And until it's fixed, until one of those three solutions are implemented, either reduced grind, better rewards, or more variety in short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals, until those are implemented, Enlisted is going to continue treading water. The progression is going to feel bad, and I don't think that it's going to grow to the extent that it could. And that's why it's not growing to the extent that it could. And that's a shame, because I think that Enlisted is a truly amazing game that deserves a lot. I think that the devs deserve a much bigger carrot for the amount of stick that they're doing. I'll stop with this analogy. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Get a discussion going. That's what these videos are all about. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. And yeah, thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.